All right, fellas. Welcome back. Loaded Slate Sports Podcast. My name's Ashton Rodebeck.
I'm Ryan. What's up?
I'm Jack.
And, we're here. Took a little bit of a break. Those videos, they will be out, but, we're taking a little bit of time. So now we're coming out. It is the it is the 21st of February, 2023. And we're coming at you with some NBA and, I believe, NCAA basketball content, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're hitting today?
Yeah, mostly NBA.
Mostly hoops. Expect a full hoops episode today, fellas. So.
Tons of hoops. We got stuff to cover from the trade deadline last week. Was that last week? It was
last week.
It feels like a couple weeks ago.
Feels like a long time ago. So much stuff's happened in the last couple days here, but really we wanted to touch on really the blockbuster trades. I mean, obviously we want to talk about the Brooklyn Nets disbanding pretty much. I mean, KD heading to Phoenix. Kyrie, he's going to Dallas here, guys. Like, what are your imprints? We'll start with the Kyrie trade because that was the one that I think was first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think that if we were to put out our episode we recorded on this previously, our skepticism, was very present. But I think that it's kind of, kind of looking good, looking better than, I know I expected. I don't know about either of you two, but I wasn't really expecting two, predominantly ball-dominant guards to really... I mean, if you want to call Luka a guard, but you know what I mean. Two ball-dominant players to mesh as well as they have. But honestly, I like it. There's a nice flow on the court in Dallas, and, I mean, good for them. I think that they've upgraded.
Yeah, and, just to remind everybody, so Spencer Dinwiddie, he's going back to Brooklyn. Dorian Finney-Smith, he's going back to Brooklyn as well, too. I think they're getting a couple first-round picks as well.
Yeah, a couple. I think one unprotected, and I think it was just another second, honestly. But honestly...
Nice haul.
I never let the media really distort the reality of Kyrie. He's always been a very efficient player, at least scoring the ball wise. Like Luka just being the point forward that he is, like he can play off the ball. So like I never questioned like the offensive like production of it. I was more worried about initially looking at the trade their defense because Dorian Finney-Smith was one of their better defenders.
The glue guy, really rebounding.
Yeah.
Defense.
And Dinwiddie, I mean, like he's always been a bucket. He could always like get a bucket, but I mean, like I didn't think he was going to be there much longer with like Dallas. But I honestly, if it doesn't work out and they don't win the chip, and Kyrie goes out to the Lakers or wherever he wants to sign this offseason, I feel like there's no harm done, and they could start at least with more assets than what they've had the past couple years with Luka.
For sure. I mean, Luka and Kyrie, that's so much talent in the backcourt right there. I mean, we've seen those two guys.
And they said, like, ever since, like, the Kyrie trade, Josh Green has really came on pretty solidly in finding his role. So, I mean, like, at the end of the day, business. I mean, other players will shine no matter the organization.
Yeah, and I mean, Luka, he really thrived with Jalen Brunson last year in that same ecosystem, too, in the playoffs. So I think they went to the conference finals, that was. And, I mean, they really thrive together in that ecosystem. I think Kyrie Irving's a little bit of an upgrade from Jalen Brunson as it comes to like a skill set standpoint. Just overall, he's a better player.
Yeah.
Too, and I mean Kyrie, he's efficient too. And when he's in a situation where it feels comfortable, he thrives. Mm-hmm. And we saw that in Cleveland.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. It's kind of a win-win for Dallas. I mean, they get this, the rest of the season with Kyrie, and then if it doesn't work out, Kyrie can go elsewhere, and they won't have to pay him. So. I mean, honestly, it's perfect for a playoff run like Dallas is trying to make. It's awesome.
I wonder what they're going to do with C. Wood, though, because he's got, like, an extension on.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to trade him at the deadline. I mean, like, he could definitely put the ball on the...
Yeah, I forget they have C. Wood.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
He's just not a good rim protector, and I think that's what that team's really missing right now is, like, a very solid rim protector.
They are. They definitely are.
I agree. I mean, Christian Wood's a good third option.
I don't think they would give him, like, a huge extension. Like, he could... Like, they could find that production elsewhere. I mean, but I'm just curious to what they do. Because they were in a log jam for a couple years.
Definitely, I don't know. No one's going to want to match up with the Mavericks in the playoffs. Because, I mean, that's a tough matchup. Guarding those two guys, I mean, we saw what just Luka did by himself pretty much last season.
I mean, like, even when they weren't, like, that talented, Luka still find a way to put him in the Western Conference Finals or at least have him as a top 4 seed in the West.
Imagine with Kyrie though,
they said Luka was like eating out with Jokic and people are speculating should they team up. I feel like that'd be
scary too.
Luka and Jokic. Ooh.
I mean that'd be nasty. I mean
I'm not the biggest Jokic guy, but
he's talented though. He's talented, but I mean
I definitely think that could work.
I want to look at the Brooklyn Nets a little bit more too. I mean they got some nice pieces too. Obviously Spencer Dinwiddie, he's going back to Brooklyn where he kind of got his name known for himself a little bit. I mean,
I think that deal is more like them just getting like a couple picks. I mean, it was an expiring deal. So I mean, like they got the good players there, but I think like the Nets' best haul was with the KD.
It
for sure.
Because Mike Kell's been balling ever since that trade. I mean, he dropped like a 45 or 46 point game.
Yeah, let's
And,
talk
like,
about
it's an
that.
extended-
Let's talk about that other trade too, because that was the other piece to the puzzle there for the Brooklyn Nets too.
Cam Thomas too, right? Or Cam Johnson, I mean.
Cam
right?
Johnson,
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges, a couple first-round picks, I think. Was there anybody else too?
Like that went over
Included
to
in the
the
trade, went over to the Nets from
It was
Phoenix?
Cam.
and
They put
Mikal?
Crowder, but they were. I think they
waived Crowder.
They waived Crowder, and then they got 4 firsts.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of first-round picks too. But Kyrie or Katie, he's on a little bit of a different contract. I think he's got like 3 years left on his deal. Is that right?
Yeah, probably.
Somewhere around there. He's got a lot of time left, and I mean he's getting up there in age too. But Katie, he's still playing like one of the best players in the world right now.
He just got to stay healthy at the
Yeah.
end of the day. I'm like the new owner for the Phoenix Suns. I'm really glad he made this move. But I'm saying
Matt Ishbia?
like
Matt Ishbia.
Ishbia, but
Ishbia,
I
he's going all in.
I like them going all in, but
This is all
Big
in.
spender,
how-
big spender.
what's their title window with KD?
It's
like
now.
3.
They got
it's
2
like
seasons
today?
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a big W of that Phoenix trade is that they kept Ayton because
That
I was wondering.
huge.
Yeah.
Because
Huge.
I think Ayton is going to get more of an expanded role here, and I think like he's been playing better as of recent.
I mean, the Suns are kind of like a mini super team now. I mean, they still got Booker, CP, 8.
I
Now
don't
they
think
add
I don't,
KD.
I'm not going to say like CP's washed. Like he's still like a good point guard.
I mean, he's
but
not what he usually. He's not what he was. A couple seasons ago, but he's still.
I'm more worried about
doing it at a high level.
I'm more worried about their bench because I think losing Cam was like kind of big for their floor spacing at least because he was definitely who they counted on off their bench.
They just
at
got
least.
KD. He's one of the best shooters to ever play the game.
But what
Is he
about
old?
the
Is he
bench?
long?
What about the bench? That's what I'm worried
They still
about.
got Saric in there.
He's okay.
I forget. They got some nice pieces on their bench. They still have Campaign,
Yeah, they still have Campaign, Saban Lee.
Saban Lee. I mean, he is what he is at this point. but-
2-way player. 10-day contract player.
I mean, I don't know. I think the Phoenix Suns, they're really going all in. I mean, this is kind of their move that, hey, we're here. We want to make a splash. I mean, they were kind of, middle of the pack Western Conference team before this trade, and I think this really puts them in.
I think it was the year 2 make
Yeah,
a move because
both-
the Western Conference.
Both the
is
Nets and the Suns are both 5th in their respective conferences right now. So
Yeah, and I mean, the Nets, they kind of.
very similar records.
The Nets, they're kind of retooling here with this roster. I mean, they got Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges is a good player too, Cam Johnson as well. I mean, they still have T.J. Warren. People forget about that.
I forgot he
too.
went over in that trade. T.J. Warren definitely the bubble. T.J. Warren.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him be efficient and put up big numbers at times too. So it'll be interesting to see how the Nets kind of attack this rebuild too, going this offseason.
What a failed experiment though.
It really was. I mean, they had James Harden. I mean, and
This isn't a horrible bench. I mean, you got Terrence Ross and guys like Okogie and stuff like that.
I forgot they got
yeah, they got some decent players.
This isn't horrible.
That is a very good that is very good basketball.
Landry
team.
Shamet as
The
well.
Phoenix
so.
Suns are a very good team.
Shamit's,
Yeah, I mean that's a solid bench. Darius Baisley, they got some dudes coming off that bench.
Baisley,
How they
Yeah.
they did
We're talking
the
about
failed experiment with Brooklyn.
Nets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of, touched it.
But what does it mean for their future now? Where is their sights on? Because Cam Thomas has showed some potential.
I mean,
I honestly think this team's fun. I think like this.
They
team,
are fun. I mean,
I think there's no star on this team currently.
They're kind of
like
doing,
it's just a bunch of just really good role players that are finding their way to potentially make the playoffs.
They're kind of doing what the Thunder did a couple seasons ago, where they had like old Chris Paul and they still made the playoffs.
I like that comparison.
And they pushed the Rockets to like 7 games or something
But,
like
like-
that. It's kind of similar to that.
because it's like the overall outlook is like we're gonna retool,
Yeah,
rebuild,
we're retooling,
but
I mean, we can still win in the meantime. And it's kind of what the Jazz are doing right now.
Because I don't think currently if they could just like if they went full tank they'd even get like a high pick really. I mean at least high odds. So I mean I think they're just gonna like look towards the future.
Yeah,
but I mean Jacques Vaughn was I think he showed a lot of promise. I mean
He got re-signed today or signed an extension.
so I think overall I think they're still gonna be in a good place in a few years. But I'm just saying like their GM I think they need to question the front office a little bit.
I don't know. I mean,
Because like I think like them. They got a lot of. Didn't they get like 8 pick swaps for like Harden and stuff? Like they got. I mean, like they maximized like the value or, like at least.
yeah, I mean they went all in for that championship run, and I mean if it wasn't for them getting completely derailed by injuries in that one season, they could have went all the way. I mean, obviously it's the woulda, coulda, shoulda thing, but they could have. They really could have, and I mean, when you had the opportunity to go all in, you probably should go all in, but I mean. Things are kind of turning around for them. It wasn't like a couple seasons ago when they traded for all those old guys like KG and them, and they were just left with nothing. And the NBA had changed the rules to the Sepian rule, is it, where you can't like trade your first round picks more than 1 year in a row.
The thing about the Nets that I like is like I feel like the Wizards, they never learn their lesson. You know what I mean? Like they always just keep the same like cats around, like even their best players, and like they're just in purgatory. I mean, like at the end of the day, like eventually you're just gonna have to like say fuck it, man. Like, and I'm just gonna be like, all right, rebuild time.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, so like if it's just not working out, but
it's kind of what they're gonna have to do here. But I mean, there were a couple other trades too, wasn't there?
Yeah, Jakob Poeltl to Toronto is one of the more interesting ones because Toronto hasn't had a good year this year at all. And there was a lot of like controversy around just like their roster and what they're building, like just blow it up. I mean, like Van Vliet, they don't know Van Vliet's future as well. But I was just interested, like that seemed like more of like a win now move to me because Jakob Poeltl's a very decent big guy, a very potential like to be a very good starter.
Very productive big guy too, and I mean he was doing good things in San Antonio too.
I mean, this is where he got drafted. He got drafted. I mean, it's really just a reunion, so it makes sense. Like from like I know they're a very like tight knit like culture, like Toronto, like their front office is very like they definitely have like a vision for what they're doing. But I'm interested to see what Masai dials up. I mean, like I know like he likes his like hybrid forwards. He likes the Anunobis. I thought they should have traded Anunoby. Like, because I don't think the roster they currently have is nothing but like a first round exit at best.
Well, I mean, they're sitting here at 10th in the Eastern Conference, so I mean they're barely into the play-in picture right now.
And Nick Nurse is a good coach, like traditionally. So I'm very interested in that trade for the most part. But I'm interested to know your guys.
They got an interesting roster. I mean, they don't really got one of the best rosters. I mean, they got
but it's not a bad roster.
They just got a ton of like decent role player guys. Like I think
Gary Trent's a very decent.
Like we kind of heard about Toronto in for the Kevin Durant sweepstakes too. I mean, we thought there was kind of some smoke about
they just didn't
Toronto had the assets to.
They didn't want to get rid of Scotty Barnes though, because they really want to see what he can progress to if he could take on the superstar like role. Because like I'm not gonna, I like Scotty's length and like his whole prototype. I think if he just gets his scoring down, like, or his shot creation up a little bit, he's going to be a really good player in this league for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see Masai kind of pull the rabbit out of his hat like he did with the Kawhi trade and make another big splashy splashy trade like that again to, try to go all in for another championship run.
I'm interested to what this means for Pascal Siakam's future because I think, him being at the prime of his career, I think he's still under 30 years old. I mean, he's got to be thinking maybe sending his, sights elsewhere.
He's always been a second option. He's never been the.
But he's been very efficient this year and dropping well over 20 points a game. I mean, like some team could use him.
I mean, that's just why he needs to leave. He needs to get out of Toronto because he is the perennial second option. He's not going to lead your team to the playoffs. I agree with that. Exactly. I mean, as of right now, other than Scotty Barnes, who really is the first option on this team, OG's not a volume
Van
scorer.
Fleet's up there too.
How many teams could Siakam be the first option for? Probably not many.
Zero. He needs to join a team where he could be the second.
The Hornets.
Like he could be in the Pistons.
Pascal would be the perfect fit for like the Mavericks and what they're trying to do. That'd be a nice fit, like for like a Pascal Siakam instead of Christian Wood.
Yeah,
I like that fit.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
I really like, or like Pascal on like the Kings or something like that. I'd like that fit too down there with De'Aaron.
They got Sabonis though.
He's not he can play the four.
Sabonis has had a phenomenal year. Yeah. A good trade that really went down is I thought the Lakers took W's, man.
We didn't even talk about the Lakers.
That's crazy, bro.
D'Angelo Russell went to the Lakers as well as
the other trade.
As Jared Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley. And they gave just Russ and like only one first. Only one of their two first of their unprotected first went to Utah.
Yeah.
Utah bought out Russ and he went to the Clips. And then Mike Conley went to the Timberwolves, I think, in that deal as well. And I think
Mike Conley did go to the Timberwolves.
And I think a couple of role players kind of filled out the rest of the trade. But
this is such a weird roster, bro.
What, the Lakers?
Just looking at their roster, it's just a bunch of dudes, man.
The Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think their playoff records, their record shows that.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought D'Lo. I think D'Lo's a very nice third option when he's not asked to be that second option, like a primary scorer. I think him in an all-ball role is the perfect fit for him, and I'm glad they brought him back. and they said they're very interested in a contract extension with D'Lo. So I think it's funny to see him back in LA.
Obviously, for the Lakers, it's addition by subtraction, getting rid of Russell Westbrook, and bringing in a better fit of a player in D'Lo. I'm honestly was super shocked by this trade that the Timberwolves were really going to deal away D'Lo like this after such a short stint in Minnesota. And I thought Cat and D'Lo were boys. I mean, they're always seen together. I thought they were dudes, but obviously maybe the front office saw things not working out after going all in for Rudy Gobert just a couple months before.
I really think it's just a matter of fact of Anthony Edwards really coming into his own and really becoming a force in this league. I think that's really what it's about. I mean, Cat was definitely not healthy. I don't know how I feel about the Mike Conley pickup. It's a very good veteran leader that maybe that roster needs, but I thought they were like the part of the trade that I was very confused about a little bit.
Who, the Timberwolves?
Yeah,
definitely. I don't know. Bringing in
like
an aging Mike
I
Conley.
don't mind the offing of D'Lo per se. I was just really interested. Like, are they still bought in? Like, are they like? Is Cat potentially a trade candidate?
I think D'Lo's in his contract year too, so I think
so that's really
so
what
it's like a 1 year rental pretty much.
I really thought the other two. I thought Jared Vanderbilt's a very solid pickup.
Beasley too. Beasley's a nice player.
Beasley's a good shooter, so I think really it really fills out their starting five. But I think what really you said that roster's just a bunch of dudes. I mean, it's just like their bench really needs to see who could really step up.
Hey, they still got Max Christie.
I think Reeves is a very solid role player.
Reeves is a solid role player. I think
if they needed to keep Caruso.
They should have kept Caruso. They got rid of the good white guy for a slightly worse. You know what I mean?
Hey, but D'Lo's coming back to the Lakers.
True.
Obviously, that's kind of where he started his career at.
I like the Mike Conley pickup around this roster. I'm gonna be honest. I think.
I think the roster needs a veteran leader. So
I like it.
It's a good veteran leader.
I like the Mike Conley pickup. I did not like the dumping of the quality role players that they have, like Beasley and Vanderbilt. I don't.
But they were on the Jazz.
Oh, they were.
They were on the team. That was the Rudy Gobert trade.
Rudy Gobert trade. Yeah.
So they came over for the Jazz. I mean, I really just think the Lakers. I think the Jazz just really want to rebuild or just retool their roster. Like Danny Ainge has been getting
Garza.
They got Luka Garza.
Danny Ainge has been taking that Sam Presti training course and getting all these first round draft picks. So
pretty much. I mean, that's kind of what's going on here. It's beautiful to see.
It's working for the Thunder right now.
It is. They got too much talent right now.
Talking about the Jazz.
Yeah, I mean,
Jazz.
They started so hot this year, and now they're like not even in playoff contention.
I was very happy to see. I was really happy to see Lauri Markkanen break out this year.
Made an All-Star game.
It's crazy. They're only 2 games back from 500, and they're 11.
That's just how
Lauri could definitely be on some All-NBA team, maybe at least third. He has definitely potential to be in the conversation.
They only have one more loss than the 8 seed.
Where's the Lakers?
The West? I mean, it's just so competitive.
Right.
There's just so many good teams.
Dude, the last two teams in the West, like the drop off from like the Lakers to San Antonio and Houston is ridiculous.
The Lakers are competitive. At least they're in that that kind of 14 or however many. Teams.
Look how many
13
teams.
But
look how many games are separating those teams. That's nothing.
I mean, the Lakers are a game back from the 10th seed. They're a game back from the fucking from the play-in, and the Spurs and the Rockets are
just a lot of
just messy.
I also thought Mo Bamba was a very decent pickup for Patrick Beverley. I mean, I think with that team, I mean, they got rid of Thomas Bryant. I mean, I think the reason why they got rid of Thomas Bryant is just rim protection at the end of the day. I mean, Mo Bamba has the length, and Mo Bamba can be a good rim protector. Yeah. I'm glad they got rid of Pat Beverley because it wasn't fitting with the Lakers.
I wanted to talk about Russ to the Clippers a little bit more because this is an interesting, a fit, I guess I should say. Obviously, PG and Russ, they're running it back one last time. I think Russ is in his contract here, right? So he's up after this season, just a 1-year rental, pretty much. But I don't know. This is an interesting fit, I guess. I mean, the Clippers.
It makes sense logically to me because obviously the past between PG and Russell Westbrook playing in OKC.
Right. I know PG was instrumental in recruiting him to.
And I thought
LA.
Also, I just think the Clippers wanted to get a good run going on from what they did in the deadline. Getting Plumlee was a very solid pickup to be a good backup big for the roster and a key contributor.
And Bones behind Zubac. 2 second-round picks.
Like you said, Bones for 2 second-round picks. So I mean, I think they're just buying all in really.
Yeah, I don't hate this lineup. I'm gonna be honest.
They also got rid of Reggie Jackson too, because I mean,
he got bought out and didn't he go to Phoenix did he? I thought he was gonna go to Phoenix.
He is? Reggie, fuck you, Reggie. You're going to the ops?
Where is Reggie?
Come on, Reg. I really wish the Clippers would have re-signed Pat Bev instead of bringing in Russ.
Denver Nuggets, Reggie Jackson.
I thought you don't like Pat. I thought you don't even like Patrick Beverley. Though.
I love Pat Bev. Only if he's playing for
Is
the
he on
Clippers,
this one?
though.
Nuggets.
Oh, I forgot. No, they said he was planning on signing with the
Wow,
Suns.
so the Nuggets get a. I mean,
Reggie's a bucket.
Reggie's a bucket, but he's
Reggie is a
older.
bucket.
He's a little on the older side. He has.
But I forgot.
But-
Monte Morris is on the Wizards. I forgot he was.
So he's kind of going to be playing that Monte Morris role, that backup point guard role.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously Jamal's going to be healthy finally, so that'll be good to see.
I mean, the Clippers are like the 3rd or the 4th seed right now in the West.
Fourth
So, I
seed.
mean, and Kawhi just recently. I mean, he's back to full health.
Yeah, he's
so, I mean,
finally
he's really
back to
coming
full-
to
Everyone's
his groove,
finally
so.
starting to get healthy at the right time, so maybe we'll see if the Clippers can continue on that run that they had a couple seasons ago.
I'm saying with how close the West is and like no really like true
There's so many
dominant
good
team,
teams.
like there's a bunch of good teams but no like truly dominant. You know what I mean? So I think the Clippers are just bought all in on this championship run this year.
I mean, I'd say one of the better rosters too is the Nuggets too, with bringing in Reggie
I mean,
too.
like
that's
they're the
that's
number
a
one
scary
seed.
team.
They're the number one seed in the West. I mean, I think they're just a testament of finally being able to stay healthy as a full core.
Bruce Brown is just such a solid piece on this team.
I mean,
I miss Bruce in Detroit.
Jeff Green
I miss
we could
Bruce.
use a Bruce Brown
Why
guy.
did remember when Troy dumped him off for like nothing?
Hey, Troy, wake up. Someone go up to Troy's office. Tell him to wake up. Feed him his oatmeal. Come on, Troy.
yeah, his team still got Aaron Gordon too.
Aaron Gordon's actually had a really good
Aaron
season.
Gordon, too. They got a couple other guys.
DeAndre Jordan, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal,
MPJ.
Reggie. They got a solid team.
Yeah, they
KCP.
I like
Yeah,
KCP.
KCP. Too.
I
He's a
wonder,
nice
do they
player.
play Christian Braun? Like,
I
after
doubt
wonder
it.
if they play him. I
That
doubt
dude
it. He has 0
sucks.
points. Or he's averaging 4.5 points per game. No, he
It's
don't
not
play.
bad.
He don't play.
Better than Johnny Davis.
True. True.
Yikes.
They also have what is it, Jack White from Duke?
No way. That guy's in the league?
Yeah, he's averaging a point.
How?
I don't know. He's on the best team in the West right
That
now.
guy sucked at Duke.
Yeah, Colin Gillespie
Bro,
too.
Gillespie could hoop.
Who was that? I think another trade that we could talk about is Sadiq. This 4-team trade that
Was it 4 teams? Really?
Portland was the 4th team. They were the one that almost fucked the trade up.
Damn you, Portland. Why didn't you F the trade up?
But Sadiq went to the Warriors initially, and then Atlanta gave 5 seconds for Sadiq, and the
5 seconds? That's a lot of seconds.
Holy.
the
That is a ton of second-round picks.
I thought Portland just got Kevin Knox and like a pick or something like that, and the Pistons, our Detroit Pistons, got James Wiseman,
Yeah.
the 2nd overall pick of the 2020 draft.
Casey could now potentially could run a 5-center lineup out in the court if he wanted to.
Do that Orlando Magic lineup.
Oh, yeah, he could do it. He could do it.
But what's your thoughts on Sadiq leaving the 3-1-3?
I don't know. Really, I was really disappointed. I really liked Sadiq as a player. I thought he could be that Chris Middleton kind of guy. Obviously, we shipped Chris Middleton away too early, and we see what he is now.
What Sadiq's a career below 40% shooter. I don't think that's nothing Chris Middleton-esque to me. I think he just was a ball hog.
Ball hog.
I think that he
People
he
said that
dropped
about
off so
Jordan.
hard, man. He balled the hell out last season.
I think-
I don't know.
I think Sadiq represents. I think Sadiq's high moments were very fun, like him dropping 51 points in that
dropped
game
50
versus
a couple
Orlando.
times.
This was actually the only season that he averaged over 40% from the field.
So
This
I'm saying
season.
that's really what
Yeah,
this was
he
about.
wasn't very efficient.
Like,
Yeah.
he was a good pick from where he was picked, like the
Yeah.
19th pick. But I mean, I like the Wiseman pickup because I just think the upside is there and it makes sense. Because like even the Warriors front office said, like we're just like our eyes are just set on a championship. I mean, like that one bum year that they had. I mean, they literally just drafted him off fit pretty much.
I would have rather had Moses Moody. Moses Moody would have fit the roster better.
Either him or if Kuminga came in
Or
that trade,
Kuminga. Kuminga would have been nice
Kuminga would have
too.
been nice.
I
Come
would have
bucket.
loved Kuminga.
But no, we
I
got
don't think
we
they
got
can
our
get-
6th center. Is that right?
I mean, they're really in. I mean, is Stu really a center?
We're going all in on the centers.
I mean, Bagley's hurt. I mean,
Bagley's power forward anyway,
Stu's
so.
power forward. Bagley's more of a power forward because he can't really be a rim protector.
All right, we got 10 power forwards.
And
We're
then
set. We can run
Bo-
the
Bo-
4 power
Bo-
forward
Bo-
Jawan lineup out there.
Bogey's more of like a 3 or 4. Like he's
Nerlens,
rotating.
Duran, yeah, they do have 4 listed centers on the roster.
But how many of them legit play? Like Nerlens doesn't
Duren.
even legit play.
Duren plays, Stu and Wiseman, so 3.
But I think Stu's not really.
I'd cut all 3 of them. They all suck. Except Duren. Duren's good. Duren.
You want to keep Duren on the
Duren's
squad
good.
for sure.
Wiseman, it's too. I mean, obviously it could turn out well. I'm not going to dump on him too much. I think there's definitely upside there. I mean, he was drafted 2nd, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was talks about him potentially going 1 in that draft too. So obviously he's got a lot of upside.
And I think his debut for the Pistons, he definitely didn't look bad to me. He had a nice, really good fadeaway mid range. I mean, he definitely looks to score the ball. He definitely looked like he had tunnel vision at times. But I mean, to me, it's just a rental. If you like him.
I mean, he's barely
if you like him,
too.
re-sign him to a cheap contract potentially, or I mean, I don't know what that means for Bagley's future, but I mean, I like Troy. I mean, the thing I like about Troy, if he identifies the talent that he wants, and
he goes and gets it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They just got RJ Hampton today. Like, take these shots on the young players. That's what rebuilding teams do. I mean, we don't get the Josh Smiths, Charlie Bolden, the Waivers of the world, and hope to be good. So I mean, I really like the pickup.
Right. I don't mind the pickup at all. I think that it's a nice, hopefully budding young talent in this league that can really pop off. But I mean,
I still consider
Cade's got to be healthy. The team's
I still
injured.
consider Duren the center of my future.
I agree. I mean,
So,
Wiseman is going to have to be a bench guy, but the team's just got to get healthy.
Maybe they could play him on the floor at the same time. I mean, let's get funky. I mean,
let's get real funky.
That's what the Cavs do.
But
that was really Troy. I mean, Troy had an interview, and that's what his reasoning behind it was. He said, "In the East, what are you going up against? The biggest, like Giannis. You're going up against Giannis. You're going up versus the Cavs with Mobley and Allen.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're crazy.
So like at the you need rim protection at the end of the day, especially in the Eastern Conference. So I mean, I get the reasoning behind it, and I like it. And that Gary Payton went to the Warriors at the end of the day from Portland, and that's what almost
Gary Payton went back to the Warriors.
Yeah,
John Wall back to the
but
Rockets
he's still hurt.
too. I think that was funny.
So that's what the trade almost got messed up by. Portland lied.
Damn. So
like they said, like Portland was like injecting something because he had like an injury.
And that's what they gave him the Tyrod Taylor in the arm. They gave,
and then so like he's still out for like a considerable amount of time, but they really like Gary Payton when he was like on the roster.
I didn't know the
they
Warriors.
They were juicing him up.
I didn't know the Warriors.
Maybe that's fake news, but that's what like I saw it.
I mean, they gave Mahomes the same thing in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I'll digress here. But
and how did that turn out?
They won the game.
Good, so juice them all.
Hey, Islam beat Volk.
Casey starts.
You see that vein, bro? He definitely was injecting some shit, no doubt. But yeah, one trade that I thought was pretty interesting was John Wall getting dished back to the Rockets after he talked so much shit about that roster.
And then they waived him.
And then they waived his ass.
And then all the Twitter casuals goes, did he wave back?
I thought that was pure comedy after all the shit that he said about that franchise, man.
John Wall, man.
I don't know if that was like a personal shot. That seemed petty as hell to me.
I don't know. He was throwing some fucking daggers at that organization. So, I mean, I think that shit's funny as hell.
Dang. Yeah, John Wall's career is just...
Rip
John Wall. That dude was so electric
see,
back in the day.
Him and Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
That was cold, bro.
Yeah, that's tough.
For the one season.
Real
it
fucking
was tough.
One season it was lit. And then
that was the one
fell
season
off.
Washington was lit. They've been
the Paul Pierce season.
They've been in purgatory ever since.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Any other big trades we think we should mention?
I don't know. Nothing really. I mean, some small trades here.
Cam Reddish went to Portland. I thought that was interesting.
I wanted my Pistons.
Yeah,
the Pistons were interested.
Troy should have fucking hit him.
Troy was in his office.
And I don't know how I feel about that for Portland. I don't even know what Portland's direction is right now. I mean, are they still focused on building around Dame, or are they retooling the roster? I mean, they still have Anthony Simons, a pretty young star in this league that's coming up.
And they got Shaedon Sharp still, too.
Give me Shaedon Sharp. I will take Shaedon Sharp right now.
Give him to you?
Give him to the Pistons. They should have drafted him.
At least, we're getting past the All-Star break here. We're going to see some meaningful basketball, boys. I'm excited to...
You're going to see no more load management. You're going to see...
You're going to see teams fighting for the playoffs. You're going to see interesting games, bro. And that's
I want to see
the beauty
my
of the
Pistons
sport.
make that playoff push.
We're on
How many games have they
Wemby
made?
push. We're on that Wemby push.
What are they, like 13 games back from the 10 seed or something like
That's
that?
not very good.
How would you feel like if they ever had like an in-season tournament for the number 1 pick?
That'd be awesome, bro.
It'd be awful.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
I think that I've heard that idea on Twitter once, and I was like, that sounds stupid to me. But like, imagine if like
It would be
imagine if
funny
you won
as
it.
shit.
Imagine if you won it, and then
So
you got
if
the
you-
number
It
1
would be
pick.
funny as shit.
So if you win, you get the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be the loser gets the number 1
No, fuck it. Play a game to see who gets
Bro,
number
let's
one
see
overall
what
pick. It's
team
better
wants
than
the number 1. Let's see what.
It's more
who wants
honest
it
than the
more.
lottery,
pick?
bro.
That's ridiculous.
The Pistons are currently 13 games down from the 10
They'll probably
seed.
get
So
they'll probably get the 8th seed,
I-
eighth pick in the draft.
yeah, probably. I mean, they got what? They're game back from or 2 games back from the worst record.
But
in
I think
the
isn't
NBA?
it like having like
You get
Like
more
t- like-
you get more golf balls in the machine or something.
yeah,
more
obviously like the
balls.
top
it's
the top 3
rigged as
teams
fuck.
get 14%, I think. But I mean, I feel like having the record that they have, I don't think they can drop below like 6 or.
I don't know. I have a weird
5 or
feeling.
I
that-
don't know. I don't
Like,
know what
I-
the rules are. Didn't the Pistons draft 5 last draft?
Yeah, they got the worst the worst pick they could have gotten with their odds. I
That's
think.
ridiculous.
We could have Paulo, man.
And
They
the
coulda had power.
Raptors moved up to 3. No,
And the
that
Raptors-
was the draft before.
Somebody hit last year.
I forget who it was.
Fuck.
Not the
Wasn't it the Kings? Didn't they have
Maybe
like
the Kings.
super low odds and they moved into what?
Probably because
3
the
or
Kings were
something?
kind of like low key in playoff contention.
Yeah, they got real lucky because I remember they picked before the Pistons.
Who else
or-
picked?
They got
They
they got
had 4.
4th at Keegan Murray.
Yeah, and they were
Who
like
was third?
Jabari.
Jabari,
yeah,
the
that was
Rockets
And
were
Rockets.
then, and then
terrible.
Chet was to the Thunder. I mean, and then he got hurt.
And then
early
Paulo
in the year.
won to the
Okay.
yeah.
Man.
That makes sense.
I have a weird feeling that a team like the Hornets are gonna get the number 1 overall pick. this year.
Again, that'd be
Okay,
bold.
I have a weird
I was
feeling.
talking to
Weird feeling.
our boy Ralph about this. Wemby,
Yeah.
Wemby gives me massive Spurs vibes.
He does.
He
He
gives
does.
me
I see
massive
that.
Spurs. Like I could. He just seems like a Pop player. Like just someone that a good coach like Pop could like bring a lot out of him.
Is Pop waiting to retire until he gets Wemby to win a championship?
I mean, they're a pretty bad roster, but I think
They got some
they,
nice
like
players.
Vassell and Calvin Johnson are nice young players, and a really nice young player I really like, and that's really came on is Jeremy Sohan.
Yeah,
For
Jeremy
them.
Sohan, great
So
defender.
I think honestly, that's Wemby's best fit. Like
His best fit is the Detroit Pistons. Don't question it, bro. He's coming to Detroit.
I mean, like,
gonna win a
it's
championship.
either-
Him
it's
and
either
Cade
that or the-
and Ivy.
it would be probably
And
bad
Durant.
for him if he went
Then
to
we
like.
can get the real 10 center.
I think it'd be worse if he went to like the Rockets. Like they're a terrible
Yeah,
organization.
exactly.
So I mean, I think like the Spurs and the Hornets. I
That's
think like
the other thing. What the hell was Troy thinking? If he was going to draft Wemby, why is he getting Wiseman?
Because he knows they're not going to get the number 1 overall pick. That's
Or-
just the odds are fucked.
But
Or is it, is he playing
I would-
3D chess?
how would you feel if by the scenario you get 2? Do you trade? Do you trade that?
I mean,
Because
don't
I mean,
need
like,
Scoot.
because like I personally don't want to off Ivy this early, and I want to see what Ivy becomes.
Yeah, I mean,
Like at the end of the day, so like if the Pistons got the second pick,
They
and
need
there's
Brandon
gonna
Miller,
be
but he's about to be in
there's gonna be
prison.
there's gonna be trade interest in
Who?
that.
Brandon Miller's about to be in prison.
well,
They're
yeah,
not
we're
gonna
going to
get
touch
him.
on that too after you guys are done
Jesus,
ranting and
they
raving.
need Brandon Miller.
I mean,
But-
the Pistons need Brandon Miller, but this just in, literally, I sent this to you guys a couple hours ago. Brandon Miller, I mean, he's looking at he's looking to maybe be in some legal trouble here with the murder that took place at the University of Alabama with, I think, Miles was his name.
Miles.
Darius Miles was his name.
He wasn't.
And it turns out Brandon Miller, I mean, this is just reporting what the news says. He provided the gun in which Darius Miles did this heinous act with. And I mean, if this is true, this could be
Could be
very
major news because
detrimental to his future. I mean,
he's a future Piston, and I mean it's just.
yeah, we've seen guys in the NFL draft
Yeah.
get passed on because of their character. Could this be something like that?
I mean, it is like a federal.
Could this be something like that?
Yeah,
But I mean,
sure.
obviously, if it's
What an idiotic choice.
He's going to
for
be
him.
locked the fuck up. Did he know? What the gun was going to be used for? We don't know. That's speculation. but at the same time, it's not a registered firearm. It's illegal regardless.
Used for what it's used for. I
Right.
mean, like
Yeah.
at the proper time, like anything can escalate. But I think for him, just let the facts come out. But it's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
And
Not good for his stock. I'll
and-
say that much.
But
not
he's
good.
had a great year. I'll say that.
It's not good for the Pistons.
But it's just like SEC football. They play by different rules down there. I was very disappointed in Nate Oates' quote.
I bet the Auburn fans are saying this is the Crimson Wall, Ashton.
Probably.
If you know what I mean.
Probably. I'm sure the Auburn
Their
fans.
in-state rivals are chanting their colored wall, whatever the hell.
Yeah, I'm sure that's happening.
Whatever the hell even is a wall.
In the state of Alabama.
What wall? What the hell's a wall?
But listen,
the Crimson Wall.
Regardless of this, it's all like alleged at this point. I mean, we know nothing.
Oh no, this is Pat Forday here. This is a check mark reporting this. This is real. Ross Dellinger too. This is real stuff here.
All right, so we might as well just erase him from our NBA prospect.
Not yet. I mean, it's always innocent till proven guilty.
Of course. So until then, obviously, if he's convicted of this crime, I don't want him on the Detroit Pistons.
I mean,
as of right now,
Bryn Forbes just almost killed his porn star wife the other day.
Sparty on.
Fuck. But yeah, no, I think
Keith Apley just got locked up for murdering someone.
You don't want to take Brandon Miller at 2 though. I feel like that's too high. He's
gonna get mocked at 2 though.
It's to me 1, 2 or. You know the deal.
You just don't want to take a risk on, maybe passing on a guy like Scoot or something like that. If Scoot became, something special in this league. So trading back might be the option. I agree.
But I mean, if Brandon Miller's not there and all this stuff goes south, I think the Pistons still got good options at 4. I mean, Cam Whitmore's still a nice prospect.
Yeah.
That Jarris Walker is really coming on a lot, and Jarris Walker shoots over 40% from 3. I mean, that's what we really love about Brandon Miller's game. It's his ability to score the ball at 3 levels. And he's been drawing comparisons to Paul George. He just like a young Paul George with his handle.
That's good for him, bro.
And I mean personally, I just think if you're the Pistons, wing's what you got to go with if you don't get the top 2 picks.
But
am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Casey loves his guards, his point guards, and his centers, man.
I love all the guys that Keontae George is a very good prospect.
Oh, I do like some Keontae George.
Yeah, Keontae George is fired.
So Keontae George, Cam Whitmore.
It's all just positional need at this point.
Cam Whitmore would be interesting as well.
We just got to pray to the lottery gods at the end of the day. I mean, but I'm saying if I was at the number 2 pick, would we just take Scoot and figure it out? I mean, we need talent. We're talent boys.
It's just gonna be an overload of
keep getting guards.
Yeah, of shit they don't fucking need.
I mean, you can't. Roster. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have too many guys that can handle the ball at an efficient level. I mean, that could mean a lot of different variations.
They got a lot of guys that can handle the rock.
Ryan, MSU gonna win tonight or what?
No, I'm probably not.
Should I throw a bet down on Indiana because MSU's favored?
I mean, that shit? It is on Sparty.
MSU's they're gonna win.
Michigan State.
MSU's gonna win. MSU's absolutely.
What do you think about Michigan's tourney chances? Is it gone?
Not yet, but it's.
What's Michigan's schedule looking like?
They got a tough schedule the rest of the way. They can lose 1 game the rest of the season. That's it. They lose more than one, they're out.
I think really for Michigan, I think they need to have a really nice Big Ten tournament.
They just need to win 1 game in the Big Ten tournament.
I think they could. I think 2 wins in the Big Ten tournament definitely gets them in the tourney.
They play Illinois.
At least the bubble.
Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin.
They're gonna be NIT champs. That's what we're looking at this point.
Not yet. They're not.
Anything else you guys feel like we should cover? Obviously, we talked about the Brandon Miller stuff in college hoops. Talked about the the trade deadline and our outlook on the rest of the season following the All-Star break. What do you guys think? Anything else?
College basketball has a puddle product.
It is a puddle product.
Keep that in mind. And if you see a Big Ten team and you think they're going to go far in your bracket,
you're wrong.
Go wrong. Go the
Scratch it off.
Unless it's U of M. Then
if you pick a Big Ten team other than the University of Michigan to go to the Sweet 16, then you're tripping.
Don't pick Purdue.
And then this year, don't even pick the University of Michigan. They
don't
won't even
pick
be
Illinois either.
They won't even be in your bracket field. So don't pick them. Don't pick a Big Ten team.
NIT bracket, y'all.
NIT bracket, pick Michigan to win.
Juwan's about to win that bitch.
Yeah, no cap. About to hang a banner.
Did you see Chris Beard didn't even get convicted of those charges?
Hey,
and he got screwed over.
Hey Ward, if you're awake right now at this hour, make the call to Chris.
You're a big Chris Beard guy.
Huge Chris Beard. I love his pack line defense.
Baylor and Kansas going on right now. It's gonna be a good game. Xavier.
Zach, we got to get off the air, guys.
Tennessee and Texas. Yeah, we got some good games. We're gonna catch up on college hoops. It's been real. This video will be out very soon, boys.
See you guys next week.